Well, I thought it was all over. It might be today, but we really might well just have a chance of doing the impossible. Hello there folks, it's TIJ Gaming. Welcome back to the Football Manager 2021 Beta Save with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Today, it is time for the penultimate episode of the Beta Save. The real game, well not the real game, but the full game comes out today. So this, and obviously tomorrow's episode will be the final episode. I'm probably going to be playing both of them tonight. This is Monday evening, so they'll still be on the beta. I should say beta now, shouldn't I? The beta of the game. And then on Thursday, or potentially Friday, we'll be starting our main save. All of that to come. But we bottled it. We really did. I thought, well, I'm not going to come back to the last few games because, sod it, it ain't going to happen. After we went out of the Europa League, it seemed like the players were really fed up. We went and lost 3-0 to Burnley. Now, the last time we went and lost by 3 goals, we have to scroll all the way back to that match against Chelsea. We hadn't lost in the Premier League in 2022, and we've done it twice in the last 4 games. We lost against Burnley away from home. We got a draw against Nottingham Forest again. We should have won that one. Wasn't good enough. We lost against Everton. That was a late goal. By the way, in both the Everton and Forest games, we scored 3 goals. All of them disallowed by VAR. And I think our goal scoring pedigree can be seen here in the Leicester match. Now, I thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be exactly the same as the previous matches. Harvey Barnes scored 20 seconds in. And I thought, oh, here we go. But amazingly, we still went in at half-time ahead. We went and won that match by 4-0. So today, we play against Arsenal. It's a tricky game away from home. Any sort of point against Arsenal, and we beat them in the league. Unbelievable. We've 7 games to go, by the way. Well, 6 after we've played them. And then we're at home against Norwich. And that'll be a tricky game, given we're in patchy form. We need to get 3 points there. And obviously, in the last few matches, the top sides have started to get some points. And I'm thinking, well, it's all over now. We can settle for 5th because if we win today's match, we'll be 15 points ahead of Everton. With 6 to go, we'd need 3 or 4 points. Even if we had a dreadful run, we should still just about get across the line. And just to note, we ended last year on 63 points. We are currently on 63 points with 7 games to go. That just shows, even if we don't get that many more points this year, just how far we have come in this season. Well, in the last few matches then, let's go all the way back to the 29th of March. Fulham went and beat Man United. 18th place Fulham. Everton beat Leeds. I guess that was a bit of a surprise. Chelsea then lost to Bournemouth. Again, 15th place Bournemouth. And Man City drew with Burnley. Then, yesterday, Everton are one of my, not one of my favourite sides, being a Liverpool fan, but they did us a favour. They beat Man City 4-1. Liverpool won, albeit. Chelsea drew against Burnley. United won, fair enough. But because all these sides have dropped points, if we win today, we go 1 point behind Chelsea. We go 5 points behind Man City. Liverpool and United, yes, they'll probably get 3 points out of their games in hand they've got. It's tricky to tell what the official game in hand is. Fulham are playing Liverpool, it looks like then, and the Man United one is probably against West Brom. Yeah. I tell you what, that will probably be the game in hand, which suits us. Man United against Liverpool. Suits us down to the ground. But, yeah, let's get on with the Arsenal game, shall we? A pretty normal side playing today. You will notice it's Max Meyer playing instead of Morgan Gibbs-White because in the last few days, Morgan Gibbs-White has got a damaged spine. Never heard of that one before, but apparently it's an injury he's had in the past. Painful. I went to him, I said, look, I know it's a long injury, but keep in there and you know, keep all that, keep it mentally. And he just shrugged me off, and I thought, well, sod you. But he's out for the next 7 months, so Max Meyer will hopefully do a job. We've put Connor Cody in the midfield because Renato Sanchez has been rubbish since he's come into the club. There's no 2 ways about it. You know, 6.5 average rating. We spent 38 million on him. It's not gelled so far. It really hasn't. But there's time, isn't there? There is time for it to happen. But I just think a game off today will suit him. And I think Connor Cody could do a job in midfield, although we have got Moutinho on the bench. I thought we'll try Cody. Max Kilman has been in brilliant form at the back. He's now worth 27 million. Wolves signed him for something crazy like 50,000. And the team we're playing against today, Arsenal, are interested in him. You know, if you buy someone for 50,000 and they're worth 27 million, you're going to sell them, aren't you? Let's face it. But an early chance for us here. But unfortunately, it looks like it could be a counter-attack from Arsenal now. Lewis Muriel's playing for them now, so goodness knows what happened to the 2 conventional strikers. And he's just took an absolute age to get it across the box. Does nothing with it. But Saka back to Lacazette. Good stuff from us. Good defensive stuff. But you can tell in the way we're playing, there's definitely going to be a goal, or there'll be goals that are ruled out by VAR. Again, Bellerin, though, on the wing, shoots. Can't complain at that for Arsenal. Really can't. You can tell we're not in the best form, and I do worry a little bit that victory against Leicester was because they were approaching it too offensively. And they're not the best side in the league as well. I mean, like I say, even if we have a dreadful run now, even if we win a few more games, we should finish 5th. It's going to take an absolutely dreadful run now not for us to get across the line in 5th. And that would be a great achievement. That really would be a great achievement. We can conceivably go and win the next 7 games, is it? Yeah, the next 7 games, and still finish 5th. We could probably lose the next 7 games, which if it continues anything like this, with Wolves 2-0 down, we're going to berate the players. It's not good enough. Arsenal aren't one of the best teams in the league. They're 15 points behind us. But I hinted at it in the last episode. It always happens. I don't know if it's just me as a manager. I mean, Bolly's given away a penalty there. This is going disastrously. It really is. We don't need this. But I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I'm a rubbish manager. But every season, you get that little 3, 4, even 5 game period where whoever you're playing as, whether it's the best side in the league, whoever it is, you're rubbish. And you cannot get a result at all. There you go. Well, there you go. Penalty to Arsenal. We could be 3-0 down, and this has got very reminiscent feelings to that match against Valencia, doesn't it? 28th goal of the season from Muriel. I mean, this is game over now, isn't it? It's not going to be crucial because of the buffer we've built up to the guys behind, but that's not really the point, is it? We don't build up that buffer just for them to creep back up at the end of the year. That's not the point. We should be looking at this positively, going for the momentum, but being 3-0 down against Arsenal here just shows really that we're not in great form. I don't know if it's losing Neves that's changed things. I don't think it's losing Neves that's changed anything because his average rating was quite poor. No better than Renato Sanchez. So unless he was an unsung hero, a little bit like Roberto Firmino, I suppose, Liverpool. I don't know what's happened, but very nearly 4-0 there. We can only choose to do one thing only, which is attack. There's no point sitting back. We're 3-0 down. If we sit back, we definitely lose. If we attack, we could have a freak result and potentially bring 3 back and get a point out of this. But that's going to be the maximum we get here. I know Arsenal have suffered horrible fate before from 4-0 up. They're not quite there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. But we will definitely miss Morgan Gibbs-White. This is one of those opportunities where Meritan Shabani would have been great. Max Myers not really delivered the goods since he's signed. He's been average, really. Mediocre at best. That wasn't good enough. Show them what you're all about in the second. And the players don't give a toss. Well, we've not lost the dressing room, that's for certain. The players are quite happy at the club. The dressing room atmosphere is good. But I guess however harmonious you are, if you're 3-0 down at half-time, you're going to be a bit frustrated. But there's not much we can do from the bench. We've got Renato Sanchez, obviously, who can come on, but he's really a holding midfielder, isn't he? So he's not going to offer much up front. And then we've got the youngsters, the likes of Rafa Mir, and if this goes 4-0, it doesn't. Patricio with a good save. It just feels very, very similar to the game against Valencia. Shell shocks in the first 40 minutes, the first 20 minutes even, and that's about it. We're going to bring Ward-Prowse off just to give him a break. Again, we might as well give some of our players a rest. We'll bring Rafa Mir on for Adama Traore. We'll leave it a little bit later till we make the last substitution. But a disappointing start to the episode. As I said though, we're 12 points ahead of Everton with 6 games to go. We should be okay. Even after this, we'll still be 15 ahead of Arsenal. You know what? We might as well go very attacking. We might well get it to 3-1 here. Rafa Mir with a run. He gets his first goal of the season. That is more like it. You know what? We might as well just go full pelt for this. We might as well. Again, shoot on sight, all that stuff. Very high. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Good stuff for Rafa Mir, though. He scored his first Wolves goal, which is nice. He's been out on loan the last few years. He was out on loan at Southampton and didn't play, to be quite honest. I didn't get a chance to do anything that was going to be good. But a nice run from Rafa Mir, a good striker. And again, we might as well go for this. If this is now 3-2 from this highlight, it's game on again. Again, it's really a reset of 1-0. Similarly, and I think this is probably what will happen, whisper it quietly. You can't whisper loudly, I suppose. But Arsenal will probably get a second goal here, a fourth goal here, sorry. And it'll be all over. I'm expecting that to happen. Bellerin on the edge of the box. Good save from Patricio. He proves me wrong. We're going to have a sip of my drink because why not? I haven't had a drink on most of the Football Manager videos this year, which is quite rare because it's not alcoholic, by the way. I usually have a drink when I'm having a video because my throat goes very dry very quickly in a video, so I do tend to need a drink, but I've been okay so far. We're going to bring Pacheco on for Neto, who's absolutely cream crackered. We'll put Cody as a box-to-box and just see what Sanchez can do in a Mazzala role, because I've seen a few of my fellow Football Manager YouTubers using Mazzala roles, and they have gone really well. But I tell you what, Max Meyer has had a dire game, 6.1 rating, absolute shocker. Now, as I said, hint, hint, if we can go 3-2 here, we have got a chance of getting a point. No? No? Okay, fair enough. Muriel, Pedro, Lacazette, this will be it, won't it? Bellerin with the shot, 4-1. There you go, game over, a disaster really. That is shocking. I guess against Arsenal, away from home, usually you would probably take a defeat, but it's the way we've lost, isn't it, really? We have been absolutely battered here. I mean, that's a terrible save from the keeper. Max Kilman gets his second goal of the season, his third goal of the season, sorry. We get our second goal. I'm getting all muddled up with my numbers here. I feel like Diane Abbott. But Max Kilman, that's a name from the past, isn't it now, a few years ago, but Max Kilman, to add on to his defensive exploit, gets a goal. Brilliant. We are getting booked too much, I've noticed that. I don't think staying on feet really does that much to change it. I'll tell you what, that's dire. That is dire from Maxi Meyer. I know that rhymes and I really didn't intend for that to happen. That is dire. He has had a rubbish game. 6.1. He can't play in the next one. He cannot play in the next one. That was terrible. He cleared that. Not good enough. Obvious to say it's not good enough there. We're going to send our assistant to that. So all of the big teams have played. Take a worst place scenario, really. Everyone going OTT. Meyer, he was that bad. Worst case scenario then. Liverpool and Man United win their game in hand. I know they can't, but let's just say theoretically. We're going to be 5... sorry, no, Chelsea will be there, won't they? We'll be 4 points away from 4th. 8 points away from the top of the league, but 12 points clear in 5th. Even if we have a terrible dogged run till the end of the year, we should be fine now. And we finished 6th last year, so I'd take 5th. But a game against Norwich next, hope that should be a reset, because we're on 30 on goal difference. They're on minus 30. Surely we can put a few past them. Well, you can tell I've got an autopilot there, can't you? I've just started the match. I've got the telly on in the background, doing the match. Great, started the match. I'm recording a video. What am I doing? Yeah, here we are. We've started the match against Norwich. I've never done that ever when I've done a Football Manager video. That's great. I'll add that onto the list of faux pas in this video. But as you can see, a bit of a different side. We've got Sanchez back in, Cody and Bolly at the back because Max Kilman's picked up a bit of a knock. That's why he's not even on the bench. And we put Rafa Mir instead of Pedro Neto on the left wing because he's not really done too well in... Well, he's not been great in the last few matches, has he? But obviously Max Meyer, that's the one I was laughing at, not Neto. He's not been that bad, but Max Meyer was dreadful last time out. So we've put Moutinho in that shadow striker position. He looked like the best fit out of everyone we've got. Again, we are really down to bare bones now. Our depth wasn't great in the squad anyway, and we've got a few injuries. Obviously, Gibbs-White being out for a long time isn't going to help us. Well, this is a game against Norwich, though. I've just told the lads it's just one of those, isn't it, really, that you've got to go for it. And if we attack like that, and Rafa Mir gets his second goal of the season, I'll tell you what, we've given him a chance. We've given him 2 matches, 1 off the bench and 6 minutes start. That's, what, probably 40 minutes max. And he scored 2 goals. I mean, that's not a bad rate, is it? 2 goals in 40 minutes. Southampton weren't picking him in the Championship. They must feel fools. But there's a few teams playing tonight. The interest we've got on is Man City and Manchester United. Chelsea I don't think are playing. No, Man United and Man City are playing tonight. But this should be a good win. I mean, I feel like if we win here 6-0, for example, it ain't going to happen. But let's just say we do. Let's say we get the 3 points, whatever happens. That's a cracking goal, by the way, from Todd Cantwell. The FM gods were listening to that, weren't they? I can't believe this, but if we do go and win here by any amount, pretend it's 5-4, whatever it is, don't be 5-4. It's a bit like locking the stable door after the horse has bolted, isn't it? Really. We could conceivably still get 4th. I can't see it, though, because I don't know if you remember, I certainly do, We have got an absolutely horrific run. We've got Norwich, then Bournemouth, and then we've got the 4 big boys pretty well. We have got Tottenham in that run, which should help. I'll tell you what, Rafa Mir, he's looking great. If only he'd have scored that, he'd have got all my plaudits. But that run is going to be horrible. So I think that, well, even if we win here, which I hope we do, it'd be a disgrace if we didn't. Adama Traore nearly with the second. It looks like Campana from our side is come off the bench and decide to play in goal for Norwich. Well, if he get out the goal and give us a free goal, that'd be quite nice. Don't think that's going to happen, though. Crystal Palace lead, though, at Man United. I guess that if we get draws and wins, I guess it might just be enough. Obviously, if we get 5 more draws, that isn't going to be enough. You just don't know. But, for example, based on this result, Liverpool have got 2 games in hand. Chelsea have also got a game in hand. They're likely to win most of the matches. I know that one's offside from Timo Pukki, but still, it's not good enough from us to give him the chance, albeit it's going to be offside. There are so many offside goals recently. I don't know if there's been a patch to the game or whatever, but as I said, there were 3 in the Nottingham Forest and Everton matches. We've had 1 here. I think we had 1 in the Arsenal. No, we didn't have 1 in the Arsenal game. That was an anomaly for once. But it's 1 each here. We're not looking too great. Yes, we've had 8 shots. Great, and we're making the chances, but I guess that people might well have just cottoned on to us at this point. We're not trying to do anything that's too groundbreaking. He needs to do something. He needs to do something. We can't walk away from this save at the end of season 2 and him not have done anything. I'll tell you what, Neil Maupay has an absolute disaster there for Norwich. That's a cracking signing for them, by the way, he's Maupay. But if anything, they've been on top. Crystal Palace are now 2-1 down to United, so that didn't last too long. We're not doing well. The problem is with going, I'm not happy with your performance, is sometimes, if you take it a bit too often, it's like anything, isn't it? The more you get shouted at, the more you do anything, the less effect it has on you. Not necessarily anything, but we can discuss that in the TIJ politics video. But a cracking ball from Sanchez, that'll do. It was more of a clearance, I suppose, than a ball forward. But both of them worked the same way, I suppose. Vinagre, though, that wasn't a ball to anyone. Could have really given us some danger there if he'd have given the ball away, because there was nobody on the left-hand side. But a cracking ball from Yao Moutinho to Nelson Semedo. When that man scores, it's a beauty. It was a bit like, what's his face? What was his name? The Everton bloke. He's at Southampton, I think, now. I can't remember what his name is. It escapes me. The defender. The right-back. But he didn't score very often. But when he did, it was absolutely... That's going to frustrate me now. I can't think who it is. I think he was at Southampton at the time. He's now at Everton. Is it Cuco Martina? I don't think it's him. I feel like it was somebody, though. He scored a few screamers anyway. But Semedo reminds me of that. Doesn't score very often, but what he does is a beauty. Adama Traore running through the defence. Why didn't you just square it to Raul Jimenez? In fact, I need to remind myself to put him on a winger on attack, because he is far too greedy. That inverted winger role, in fairness, I'll hold my hands up, does line itself up to shoot a bit more often. Traore doesn't need a second invitation, so I'm just going to make a hint of you not to do that all too often. Sanchez with the ball over the top, but their defender hoofs that one out. Only to Nelson Semedo, though. Ward-Prowse, Traore. It'd be great if we could go 3-1 up. That just makes things a little bit easier. Finally, Adama Traore gets the message, and Rafa Mir gets his 2nd goal of the game. Rafa Mir is our saving grace at the moment. He really is. The rest of our team, the likes of Jimenez, the goals have dried up. Rafa Mir, 2 goals today, 1 against the Gooners. 3rd goal of the season, but actually what that means is his 3rd goal in about 90 minutes. We haven't really given him a chance. Thank God we put him in the team over Pedro Neto, because he might well have done, but I don't think Pedro Neto would have scored 2 today. Both our Manchester rivals are winning, though, so no chance of a real shock in terms of those losing. But I guess all we need to do is win today, win our next match against Bournemouth, and we should have 5th place. Not quite a hat-trick for... I really want to say Johan Mir. Johan Mir, the MotoGP rider. Whenever I see the name Mir, it doesn't register with me that it's a footballer. It really doesn't. But Rafa Mir nearly gets his hat-trick. Doesn't quite, though. Campana of a really poor save there. That was straight into the path of Jimenez. And he goes and puts us 4-1 up. That's a great response. But as I said... It's a bit like the whole stable door story. I'm not going to go through it again. Bit of a subpar game again from Sanchez. I might be picking on him. I don't know, but it's not great. We're going to put Cody in that position and bring Hover on. There's no one really in midfield we can bring on. We're going to we'll give Pacheco in game. We'll give Matinho a rest, and we'll also give Raul Jimenez a rest, given it should be game over now. We'll give Campana a run out. He started the season quite well, did Campana, but again, the goals seem to dry up a bit from him, and given that Raul Jimenez has scored 20-odd this year, and also given that there's only one space up front, it's obvious who we're going to pick, and any striker would miss out behind Raul Jimenez. Todd Cantwell, though, with the shot, a cracking save from Patricio, very much only denied by that save from Rui Patricio. But I would say, without fear of jinxing myself, that this should be all over now at 4-1. You would have really thought so. We are going to go attacking, because at this point, you know, the more we win by, the better it is. It's just a bit of a boost to the lads to say to the rest of the teams, and more importantly to ourselves, that we can do it. Let's see what we can do. I'd love to see Mir get a hat-trick. Campana running through, don't be greedy. That was awful. If we would have been 1-0 down, I'd have been screaming at the monitor going, what on earth are you doing, you pleb? Have we made 3 subs? Yes, we have. That's good. But 3 points today, I'll take that. Albeit United and City take 3 points. But as I said, it's not in our hands now. We should finish 5th. I think what I'm probably going to do, unless something really shocking happens, let's see what Pacheco does first. It's just going to be a red card for Kurzawa, just to make Norwich's day even more miserable. But what I am going to do, unless something really bizarre happens, let's face it, we're probably going to end up 5th now. Given the fact that I mean, that's a cracking goal from Campana from there. Wow, brilliant. That just compounds it, doesn't it? 5-1. They have a man sent off. Campana beats Campana. Doesn't make any sense, but that is the name of the man in goal, albeit there is an accent above the N or the A in his name. It's the N in his name, but a cracking result for the 3rd time. I don't think anything massive is going to happen between now and the last 2 games. Just wait for this to go through, because sometimes it bugs a bit when it's simulating. But given that I don't really think we've got too much of a chance now, given that the teams ahead have all got a game in hand, presuming they're going to win, they're going to be okay. And given the horrible run we've got to play 4 massive teams. We've got Bournemouth, Man United, Liverpool, Man City and Tottenham. I can't see us winning hardly in any of them, and we're not going to win the league. I don't think we're going to finish top 4. So, as I said, unless something bonkers happens, we'll just come back for the Tottenham game in tomorrow's episode, and then we'll have a bit more time to do a bit more of a roundup of the save. I'll describe when we're doing it in my main save, and hopefully that suits you guys. But not a bad episode, really. A bit frustrating that we lost there against Arsenal, but that's the way it is. Let's just figure this out. So if Everton win their next batch, they'll be 12 points behind, 15 to go. We need one more victory and we've secured 5th. I'll take that. Again, with 5 to go, we've got more points than we got this time last year. Just shows how well we've done. We really have done very well this year. And, well, I got a notification a few months ago now that we had made sure we didn't get relegated. So that's the main thing, isn't it? That's the main thing every single season. But we've been solid, haven't we? Not 2 goals, might well be. But 2 points a match so far. I'll take that. 5 games to go. 5 games until we unfortunately leave Wolves. But it's been a cracking run. I've really enjoyed this beta save. And I'll be back tomorrow with the finale. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. Leave a like if you did. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, I'll have to put the thumb up. I'm in a jokey mood today. I don't know why, it's Monday. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.